What's up everybody, Gaskin here to talk you through what happened in day 1 of the group stages of the PAX Arena VALORANT Invitational. The group stages consist of 4 groups of 5, whereby the top 2 will progress into the playoffs. And we kick things off with Group A, the closest group out of all of yesterday's action. It is worth noting that the 3 teams tied, the tiebreakers have not yet been taken into account with these standings. TSM do top the group with a 2-0 match record, taking down Built by Gamers, but they did drop a map to Homeless. And it had us wondering, how Homeless would then fare against the rest of the group? Well, it turns out, Homeless might be the surprise of the tournament. They took down 100 Thieves 2-1 in our first upset, and what could prove to be a vital result. As we move over to Group B, we see T1 with the biggest round difference out of any team in the tournament, plus 37, only dropping 15 rounds across 4 maps in their wins against Echo 8 and Way Too French. Team Envy, who also asserted their dominance with comfortable victories over Team Kefri and Echo 8. And then we have Way Too French, who are probably T1 and Envy's closest competition for that top 2 spot at 1-1. But they'll need a victory against Envy today to have any realistic chance of progression. Both Team Kefri and Echo 8 are struggling at 0 and 2 in the group, and are unlikely to progress without a drastic drop-off from either T1 or Envy. Similarly to Group B, Group C has the favourites performing as expected. Immortals and Gen G both find themselves 1 match victory away from the playoffs, but they of course still need to face each other. Whilst Prospects did put up a good fight against Gen G in one of the closer games of Group C, they went on to lose 13-11 and 13-10, and will now need to beat Immortals today to give themselves a real opportunity to get out of this group. Mix-Up will need results elsewhere to go their way to rescue their 0 and 2 start to the group, whereas Team Mango unfortunately never got going, only picking up 11 rounds on the scoreboard across 63 played. Finally, our last group, and arguably the group of death. Group D had Sentinels and Cloud9 coming out on top after the initial matches. Renegades were able to find themselves a map off of Cloud9 with a 13-4 landslide on Split, but losing the series meant they find themselves just short of the top 2, still with Sentinels to play today. Things don't look particularly good for Complexity at 0 and 2, but they have had the tough task of facing both C9 and Sentinels on day 1, and today they'll be looking to try and rescue some results in their remaining fixtures. So we still have plenty of matches to come here in this tournament. I'm personally so excited to see TSM versus 100 Thieves, and to see whether Homeless can still shake up that group. Elsewhere in the other groups, we've got all the big matches coming up, like T1 versus Envy, Immortals versus Gen G, and Sentinels versus Cloud9. And now if there's one thing I can promise you, we're going to have 8 incredible teams going into playoffs.